Hello everyone, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by and checking the channel out, checking the video out. It's just one of those days. I'm going to get right into it. Pretty straightforward. We're going to do Every Rose Has Its Thorn by Poison. One thing to keep in mind, this song, they play this a half step tuned down. So I'm going to play it in standard tuning though, so if you're playing along to the album and you're wondering what the problem is, it's because you're not tuned down to E flat. So, but again, I'm going to play it just standard. Only because I really just think tuning down sometimes is a pain. So that's just my take on it. But anyway, very simple. I say simple, but you know, straightforward in terms of the chords. If you know your basic chords, you can handle this one, I think, pretty well. Again, I'm in standard tuning, so what I'm playing is a G, C, and C add 9. There's a D in there. Okay, those are the chords that we're using for the verse and the chorus, basically. And then we've got the bridge going into that second solo, and all that is it's an E minor to a D, that C add 9, and a G. And I kind of walk down, and I'll show you what that's all about as well. But that's kind of it. So as long as you know those chords, you're good to go. And if you want to really kind of get into the mood of that tune, I guess at the very beginning on the album, there's that, you know, that big exhale. So if you want to get dramatic, go for it. But I'm going to leave that out. So the strumming is a little different. It's not like, you know, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. There's an odd strumming pattern to it, but just listen to it, and then you kind of just, even if you're going to practice it, you don't have to, you know. The strumming pattern is very similar to that. So it's like, it's not perfect, but you get the hang of it. So I'll go right into it. So we're going to start off on the G. Okay, that's basically the strumming pattern for the most part. So get a hang of that. But, you know, you can do it any way you want. Again, you're on an acoustic guitar by yourself, you know, or a duo, whatever it might be. Do what you want. It's up to you. Right? G and the C add 9. Okay? Leading up into that chorus, and I guess at the back end of the verse, the chord changes are going to be almost twice as fast. Not that you're going super fast, but the tempo changes. It's going to go from this, right? So it's going to change to this. All right, so when it changes, you're going to play that C and the G and that C combination twice. Right? Okay, that turnaround, that change is going to go into a D now. Back to that C. Hold it. And then when you go to that G, you're going right into the chorus, right? So again, the back end of the verse is going to be that the quicker changes. One time, twice to the D. Now you could play that D regular. You can kind of hammer and pull to give it some little flavor there. Back to that C add 9. Guess that's why they sing. Right to the chorus. You just kind of going back to that slower tempo. Now here's another change. When it gets to the part Every Cowboy, you go to the G. I play it slow and I can't get to it sometimes. Let's just try it again together. No, I'm really lost. All right, so. Right? Still in the chorus now. G. Right? Cowboys on the D. Going back to that C. And you're going to hold that G. Every rose has its thorn. When you get to Thorn, though, you're going to that C again. That's when that first solo kicks in, all right? So let's kind of do this together slowly again. I know I was all over the place, and I think I got it right, but when I slow it down, my mind just goes to mush. Let's try it again. Chorus. All right, we're doing the C, G. Now we're doing that twice now. That's C, that G, C, right? So the third time we go to the G, cowboy, to the D, C, sad song, back to the G. Hold that G. Every rose has its... Now we're going to that C, okay? Back to the very beginning, basically. Right? So we're going to do that all over again. That same, you know, again, you can hold that G and C as long as you want before the next verse, up to you. But you can do the verse. Again, the verse is kind of looking at two section basically. A little quicker with the chord changes and vice versa, or I should say longer with the chord changes, and then quicker the second time around. You're going to go into that chorus. Here's where it changes now. You're coming out of that second chorus, you're going into the bridge, okay? So we're going to go to every cowboy. Every cowboy sings a sad. We're going to hold it. Right? Let's hold it. Let's go to that bridge. Four chords, basically, okay? E minor. To the D. That's C add 9. To the G. I leave this up to you now. You're going to repeat that. What I tend to do is, you can go right back to that E minor, so if we did it the first time. Do it that way. What I tend to do is, especially if I'm on an acoustic guitar, if I'm playing solo, I will put a little walk down in there, and I'll show you how we do it. One, two, right to that E minor. So it gives you a little bass movement in there. We're going to do it again. You hold that C the second time around a little bit longer. And you get to that part at the end there where, I should say at the end, I guess it kind of is at the end, where you're going to, again, go back to that G. But you kind of get the percussion now on the instrument. If you hear, you hear somebody, I guess it's CC DeVille's doing one of those. If I can get it right. Basically, you're going to go back into the verse, chorus, same thing. That's basically the patterns right there. Don't want to say it's easy, but I don't want to say it's hard either, because I think if you know your basic chord structures, you've got this down pretty well. Actually, I think that for this song, just that strumming pattern, it's a little odd. So I guess I catch it on the upswing here when I go right there. I mean, you can play whatever you want. I kind of just hitting these 2 or 3 strings right here. That's basically it. So I think that's it. It was pretty straightforward. If I missed something, I'm sure you're gonna let me know, which is cool because that means I wasn't really prepared for that. So but straightforward, good tune. Played it live, both full band and acoustic. Always goes over well. Again, 80s tunes. I mean, they just really, I know they've gotten a lot of flack over the years, but I'm telling you, man, they hold up. So if you're into the 80s, I got a whole bunch of other 80 tunes out there too, so check them out. So thank you. Again, thank you very much. Appreciate you checking this out. Check out the other videos. Comments below are really welcome. I love the interaction I've been having lately with a lot of you out there. So very cool. Thumbs up. Appreciate it. Be safe out there. We'll see you soon. everyone, good to see you again. Thanks for checking the channel out, checking this video out. Really do appreciate it. Again, if you haven't done so already, please like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. A lot of good content, I think, that I'm adding on a weekly basis here, and I hope that you enjoy it as well. That's the main thing. So we're going to go back into the 80s a little bit here with Tears for Fears. Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Great tune. I think most of you know this one. Also was part of the soundtrack for the movie Real Genius back in, I guess it was like 83, if I had to guess, right around that time, maybe a little bit later than that, 84. But great tune. Going to walk you through how we play it. Some basic chords. One of them maybe you're not too familiar with, that main right there. It's kind of that main chord that you're using for the tone there, for that sound. But we'll get into that. I'll show you step by step how I play it, how I do it. Even the little riff here, we'll do all of that as well. Straightforward, but you don't have to if you don't want to. We'll do just the chords. But again, I really do appreciate you checking this channel out. Let's jump right in and I'll show you how to play it. All right, so let's get right into this one. Great song, Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears. A lot of people know this tune, so hopefully if I can help you out, learn how to play that, you can pull this one out there in the campfires or those get-togethers. That'll be pretty cool, right? So it starts off, if you want to do the riff. If not, you can kind of go right into it, all right? But the riff is just a couple notes. And the main positioning of the riff is on the 11th fret G string, which I have fingered here, and then it is the 10th fret of the B string. You can almost hear it already, okay? So what I do is I slide into that position. So that first note is going to be, I guess it's the, technically a G flat, I guess. But that's what we're going in, just that two-note chord basically right there. So it's going to be G string, 11th fret, and then it's going to be B string, 10th fret. So just practice that if you're not familiar with that kind of, shape. And I'm just going back and forth between the strings. Now what makes that riff noticeable is that this finger here, the middle finger on the 11th fret on the G string, doesn't move. This finger on the 10th fret of the B string doesn't move either. These are anchored in there. But you're going to have your pinky or your ring finger, depending on what you're more comfortable with, going from on and off of the 12th fret on the B string. Right? So now, and I think the other thing to remember is I'm pretty sure that how I'm playing this in terms of this key right here isn't quite in the same key as the album. I feel like it's like a half step, like not even a half step, like a quarter step off. But this is how I've played it. But for the most part, it's right there. So that riff is only on two strings, the G string and the B string, 11th fret on the G, 10th fret on the B, and then you're using your pinky or your middle or your ring finger just to alternate between the 10th fret and the 12th fret of the B string. And then you slide right out of it into the main intro, I guess. And that's just two chords. This here, you may not be familiar with this chord. It is a D major 7. Really, what does that really mean? I mean, it's just that you're taking a D chord. And if you could, you're just taking this finger here and you're moving it to the 2nd fret. I just think it's easier to bar it. That's just how I do it. So I've got the open A, the open D, and then I'm barring down on the 2nd fret, the G, the B, and the high E string. Right to a D. And again, make this your own, but I'm going from the D major 7 to a G. And I know there's different ways to play the G. Sometimes we play it this way with the open B, or this way with just two fingers fretted. I think for this tune, the best sounding G chord is the full G. Every string being used, 3rd fret of the low E string, 2nd fret of the B string, or excuse me, let's try that again. The 3rd fret on the low E, 2nd fret on the A, D and G open, and then on the 3rd fret, the B and the high E. Right? And then all I'm doing for the strumming is just kind of giving it some percussion. Now the good thing and maybe the bad thing about this song too, by doing that, you can drag that out as long as you want. So that's either a good thing if you need to kind of just fill some time, or it could be a bad thing because you are filling time. So and that's what you're doing for the for the intro and for the verse as well. Now you're going to go into the pre-chorus and kind of the chorus at the same time. Pre-chorus, at least I call it the pre-chorus, is your E minor, an F sharp minor, your G, and back to that F sharp minor. Okay, so let's do it again. And then from there you're going to the chorus. Everybody wants to rule it. Same 3 chords to start it off with. The only difference is instead of going back to the F sharp minor, we're going to the A. And the chorus itself is played, I guess, twice as fast as the pre-chorus. So let's watch again. What I'm doing there is I tend to bar the A chord, because what it's doing is it's putting me in the exact same position I need to be basically for that D major 7th. I just roll my fingers down so that way the D string is now open. Okay, because remember that D string is the characteristic point. If I just did an A, it's not terrible, but that open D is what you're looking for. Okay. So again, we've got the intro, you know, as far as the riff. Right? And pre-chorus. Okay, and then from there, there's only one other piece of the song to learn. I guess it's the bridge, but they play it a couple times. Okay, so it's coming out, I think it's the 2nd chorus. So all that is simple. All the chords we pretty much have played already. The G, instead of a D major 7, just a D, and we're back to the A. And the first time around, you're going to play that progression 3 times. And then from there goes back into the pre-chorus. And then if you want, depending on how you're doing this, if you've got a 2nd guitar player, I've done it through a looper before, you could actually loop this or have some 2nd guitar player, right? And then you're just kind of jamming a little bit. So all you're... what I used to do, I would just take this riff, right, and I just build upon. Whoop. So, I mean, again, it's the key of D. So if you're you're playing something, you know, D major scale, or, you know, something that D major pattern, you're fine. And that's really the entire song. We've gone over all the parts, all the pieces. What I do advise you, though, is listen to the song. I know you probably say, hey, I know it, no big deal. This song goes through a lot of different changes using those pieces we just went through. The intro, the you know, the verse. It's one thing to know the song, but you've got to know where it's all coming in, because it goes from the pre-chorus to the chorus to the bridge, back to the chorus, back to the pre-chorus. Just listen to the tune. That'll help you out big time in terms of just getting a feel for the song itself. So hopefully this helped you out. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next video. Alright, welcome back. Good to see you again. Thanks for checking this video out. Really do appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, please like the channel, subscribe to the channel, leave some comments below. Would love to hear from you in terms of, you know, this video, all the other videos I've been doing. Kind of gotten to this 80s state of mind lately, and this tune by Simple Minds, Don't You Forget About Me, very popular back in the mid-80s. It was the big hit from the movie The Breakfast Club. Funny thing, and I'm pretty sure about this, they didn't even write the song. Simple Minds didn't write the song. I believe somebody else had written the song, and they weren't even the first choice to play the tune for the you know, for the soundtrack for the movie. So pretty interesting there if that was actually the case. I've played this song in one of my other bands where, you know, full band, and it sounds great. And I started just kind of jamming this on the acoustic guitar just recently, and it still sounds fantastic. So I think that's a sign of a really good tune when you can play it in a band setting, or even just on the acoustic guitar. So I wanted to give this one a spin. Pretty straightforward. This is how I play it, so I'm not quite sure if it's, you know, 100% accurate, but this is how I've, you know, played it in the past. You know, I play some bar chords in the intro, more bar chords for the chorus, and then excuse me, for the verse. And then when I go into the chorus, I just kind of play some of the cowboy chords, that sort of thing. So why don't we take a closer look at this? I'll show you how I do it, and we'll go from there. All right, so we'll take a closer look at this tune. Somewhat easy to moderate category. Again, this is how I play it. Not necessarily how anybody else might play it, but for my purposes, how I've done it in a full band setting and how I'm looking to do it now in an acoustic type of setting. I'll walk you through how I do it, why I do certain things the way I do, and we'll kind of just take it from there. So the song starts off on a D chord, right to an E, right? So that's that kind of that riff you hear in the beginning. And then the vocals, hey, 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 come in. So it's, and then I'll just kind of pedal that E note. So it's, go back to that D, and I'm hitting the harmonics now on the 12th fret, right there, okay? So it's, and then quickly back to the C, back to that D, which kind of brings it all around to the beginning again. So let's try that first part again. So now what we're doing is repeating at this point, okay? All right, and then it's going to go into the verse from there, okay? So let's just do the intro one more time. So it's C to D. And hold that E. To the harmonics on the 12th fret, back to the C, to the D, D to E. And that's basically how I play that intro. So all together, one more time, it's... from there, it goes right into the to the verse. And the verse is an E, D, A, back to the D. So those 4 chords, I guess. It's really 3 chords. You're just repeating the D. 4 times. Again, that's how I do it. You might want to do it slower. You might want to change the tempo around, make it go even faster. Whatever works for you, but it's the E to the D to the A, back to that D. You're going to play that 4 times, that progression. So I changed the riffage around a little bit there, but that's basically how it goes, okay? You play that 4 times, you're going to go into the chorus now. Now, in the verse, I've been doing bar chords. When I go into the chorus, I'm playing just, open, string chords, cowboy chords. Same chords, basically, but just different ways of playing it. So it's E to the D to the A, okay? And I don't go back to the D. I play those 3, and I'll show you what I do on that A chord. So it's, start the chorus. And so I'm barring the A. Now you can do whatever was easiest for you. You could hold that A. You can go back to the D if you like too. I go and I grab on the 5th fret the E and the B string with my pinky. So it's kind of an A5. I guess it is an A5 chord, kind of like an Alex Lifeson type of chord. I think even Petty used it a little bit in certain songs. So it'll be. And I do that just to kind of give it a little bit more texture. These 2 notes here, I kind of play them because it kind of gives them that sound of, I think if you listen to the original version, you kind of got the keyboards and the organ in there. So I just kind of do that just to give it another layer there. We're going to go intro, verse, chorus. After that first chorus, it actually goes into the bridge. So the bridge, similar chords, just a little bit different. So it's the first part of the bridge is a C with a G in the bass right there. So, so basically you're going to play a C chord, but just move your ring finger up to the G, and then just put your pinky where the other finger was. Okay. Right? If that doesn't work for you, you can play a C chord and get away with it. Okay, but I play it up here. I hear that bass note in there. So again, so it's that C with the G in the bass to a G. Okay, to a D, to the A, and again with that, I put the pinky on the E and the B. And then you're going to do the same thing again. The only difference is, I think you're just playing a straight C at this point. Right, keep playing that. And then from there, it goes right back to the very beginning. So you're going back into the intro again. It repeats the entire thing. So intro, verse, chorus, you go through that all again. I think how I've been playing this in the full band versus just on an acoustic guitar is going to change up at this point now after I go through the chorus a second time. You'll play the chorus chords again. So we'll go through that once or twice, and then typically everything kind of comes down a little bit, and it just, you know, just accenting certain notes and not playing the full chords, right? So I might go into a little bit of solo if it's a full band, but I think you can just kind of go. So you just kind of make that your own. So again, it's going to be the E, the D, and an A. Again, with that A5 if you want to do that. And I think if you want, I mean, I've done it before. It kind of depends on what mood I'm in. I'll go the E, D, A. I'll either hold that A for 2 measures, or I'll go back into the D, like I did for the verse, basically. Okay, and then it goes to the, at the very end. It trails out to the la la la's, right? So. Right, you can do it that way, or just hold that A. I think it sounds better with the D in there, though, if you throw that extra chord in there. So, but that's basically the you know, the bones of the song there. So you can kind of take that and do what you want. But again, the intro, D to E, D to that harmonics, to the C and D. So just work with those chords and you've got your intro. The verse is just E to D to the A, back to the D. All right, and the chorus, again, same chords, just I'm playing them differently just for dynamics purposes. So if you can't play the bar chords, just stay here the whole song. You like bar chords more, you stay here the whole song, or you just kind of find a combination of both. Leave it up to you. So a lot of options there. Again, this is just kind of a structure for you to play with. It's how I do it, how I'll be doing it with this project I'm working on. A lot of 80s tunes in this project. That's kind of why I'm on this kick of the 80s right now, because it's just some great tunes coming back. I haven't played it in a long time, and you don't realize either how difficult or how easy they are. So I'm having fun taking this little trip down memory lane and see if I can remember how to play everything. This is actually a pretty easy one, so I'm sure I'll have some more 80s tunes in there you know, in the next couple of weeks. But any requests, let me know in the comments below. If you've got a certain 80s tune, let me know. Even 90s, we're kind of doing some 90s music as well. You know, maybe it's something I'm working on, but maybe it's a great idea I haven't even thought of. It'll be good to add to the set list. So let me know. Again, like, subscribe, hit the bell up in the corner, wherever it is. I think it's over there. And, you know, you'll be notified when, you know, I've got some new content coming out. You know, check it out, and it's good stuff, good song. So we will see you real soon, okay? Thanks very much.